Good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Real Estate Talk with Lisa. I'm your host, Lisa Jeffery. I'm a realtor in the DMV area with Fairfax Realty Elite. Our office is located in Greenbelt, and you can reach me. Our broker is Rodney Bennett. You can reach me at 301-542-5168 or by email at lisajeffrey38@gmail.com. And I'm joined today by my lovely co-host, our publicist, Miss Reba Burris-Barnes with Reba Associates International. Welcome to the show today, Reba.
Thank you very much, Lisa. Good to see you today.
Good to see you too. You look stunning as always.
Thank you, and the same for you.
And we're here today just to further our show's mission. Real Estate Talk with Lisa, our mission is to open the doors with keys of independence. And so we do that by providing you with information so that we can educate, empower, and motivate you to action regarding any type of real estate issue that you are concerned with. We cover real estate, buying, selling, leasing, landlord issues. We cover housing issues such as returning citizens, senior housing, homelessness, and we also look at community building types of services and products, such as we looked at food pantries, we looked at foreclosure assistance, we've looked at new development, new construction going on in the community. Exactly. And so these are the kinds of things that we like to focus on at our show to help you. Now today, if I had to give our show a title, I'd say Housing, Dollars, and Cents. And later in our show, we're going to be joined by Mr. Ernest D. Penn with Fidelity Direct Mortgage. You've seen that lender with us before, and Ernest has joined us on the show before, and he's going to be sharing some ideas to kind of help your dollars make sense, and that's SENSE, okay? And so as we get into the show, we're going to talk to you about a couple of topics that are going to be interest to you, and we're going to have our guest on, and we want you just to just take what you can and use it to help build the real estate dream that you're pursuing. For those who are our regular listeners, I just want to thank you for your continued support, all the wonderful comments, the suggestions, and please continue to make those. And if you're just now tuning in, you're on the WBGR network, on the Wellness channel. You can also find us on our show's Facebook page, Real Estate Talk with Lisa. You can find us on YouTube because some of your friends may need this information. They may not be on Facebook. So we want to make sure that you could access that. So you can also find us on Real Estate Talk with Lisa on YouTube. In addition, you can find us on Roku and on the Amazon Fire Stick. We have segments there as well. If you have either of those platforms in your home, you can just go to the search box and type in WBGR, and we have content there on a rotating basis. We also have content if you go to the WBGRTV.com website and push the play, like what's on now, you will oftentimes find our content there. So we try to make the show as accessible as possible. This is a great platform if you have a show, a message that you want to get out. And I just want to thank the station for giving us the various options that we have to be able to share our message with you. Okay? So one of the things I wanted to talk about, and Reba and I were looking at this just the other day, Prince George's County is having a housing fair. I know you can't read the card probably from here, but we'll post the flyer on our page. But they're having a housing fair this Saturday, June 9th. It's going to be from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Prince George's County Sports and Learning Complex in the area there. And I'll have the additional details there. Several of the guests that have been on our show before going to have booths there. I've got O-Line Bank. You remember Reggie Derrickson?
Yes, indeed.
He's been on our show several times. He's actually going to be there. He's going to be at booth 311. So you can stop in and see him. Also, Educare Resources. We've had them on the show with the shared housing. And then last week's show, when we had Dr. Mary Johnson on, she's doing her math program. And I'm telling you, if you missed that show, you really have to go back and watch it. I mean, she's feisty, right, Reba?
She's more than feisty. She's so learned and willing to share.
Exactly.
And she reaches across from her desk into a child's arms of learning.
That's right.
She made it all very easy to have a conversation watching her last week.
Yes.
It was wonderful to see her and hear her present her many years of great experience. I call her for your show, your statement, a new hidden figure.
That's correct.
Yes.
Because Dr. Johnson, if you missed last week's show, Dr. Johnson is 83 years old. In her case, we'd have to say 83 years young.
Yes.
Honestly. And she has a PhD in math. She was the instructor for the first African American to get a perfect score on the SAT, and this was in 1950. And we know the challenges of some of the problems and things that are on those tests for, depending on what communities you come from, it can be, some of the subject matter can be a little challenging. She has pioneered diagnostic tests that are very short but very comprehensive. They really give her a window into being able to tell where your child is in terms of the grade level.
If I recall, I think she still gives the SAT workshops and training as well.
Yeah, she is doing that as well. She actually has a summer program that she's doing. Registration starts, I believe, on the 16th of this month. So check our page and we'll put it back, the flyer back up again. But I'm telling you, it was just dynamic, and we had her relating those early math skills to another guest that we had on that talked about how that relates to later doing budgets, preparing for home ownership, understanding the interest rates and things like that.
Levine, correct?
Ross Levine, with Roots of Mankind.
Roots of Mankind.
And so Educare is going to have a booth there. I'm actually going to be down by their booth on Saturday and be there all day. Yes, I'm wearing my comfy shoes, Reba.
I hear you. No, that's at the Sports and Learning Complex.
It's at the Sports and Learning Complex.
Well,
and I got to pull this. Let me see here. I can give them the website because they did not. Oh, yes, they did. They got it. 8001 Sheriff Road.
Okay.
And that's in Landover, Maryland. And there's going to be some celebrities there. HGTV celebrities, Ashley and Andy from Flip or Flop Fort Worth. So they're going to be, there's going to be a great affair. They're going to have a lot of industry experts. There'll be housing counselors, realtors, mortgage lenders, banks, management companies, developers. It's going to be a really it's a great event. I've gone before. They're going to have classes. So you can go online to Prince George's County MD, okay, altogether.gov, and you can register online for the free workshops and the seminars. Okay? And so this is a great event to go. They're going to give away up to $10,000 toward the purchase of your first home, and then they're having another drawing where you can win a month's rent or mortgage up to $2,000, and then there's another drawing where you could get an entire living room makeover. So, if I were you, I would go down and put my name in the hat, so to speak. Just to it's kind of like the lottery. You can't win if you don't play.
Exactly
so,
right.
You can't get any of these things if you don't go by and take a look. And it proves to be really informative. And like I said, I'll be there. Educare's resource booth is booth number 403.
Okay.
So if you guys come down, I'd love to see you. Come by, tell me you saw us at the show. We might do a little giveaway of our own, and so stay tuned to our Facebook page. We'll post it on there and let you know. But we'd love to have you come by and just let us know if you've been watching this show and if it's been helpful to you.
Well, if they want to also ask you about being a part of the show.
That is correct.
We're looking for new guests to come on the show, new sponsors. We're looking for folks who have things that make buying a home enjoyable.
That's
At
right.
the same time, the things that are challenging for buying a home, Lisa has found the answers through our many, many wonderful guests.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Because like I always say, I am a realtor in my own right, and I've done many transactions, but I certainly don't hold a corner on knowledge and information. And so for us at the show, for our team, it's really important to have people in front of you, additional voices that have specialties, that have a niche, that may have a book that can help our listeners get ready for that wealth building part of their lives. So I just want to continue to encourage you to step out. Again, it's going to be
time again too.
It's going to be on this Saturday, June 9th, and it's from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So just pencil in a little bit of time in your schedule to come on by. All right. So if I could have the control room play the voting video for me. I want you guys to take a look at this clip. It's a short film by Robbins, and I saw it, and I just wanted you guys to see it, and then afterwards we're going to talk a little bit about the content. So enjoy.
Andre Gore story. At age 14, he was incarcerated for truancy. Do you know what truancy is? Yep, not going to school. At age 14. And while in there, he learned to take drugs. He learned how to lie. He learned how to do all the things he didn't have to do, and it changed him for the worst. But he was just a child. As a result, he went in and out of prison until he was 41. He became a victim of modern-day slavery and was branded for life. That's what the system does to you. Until one day, he decided to remove the shackles of his mind and change his mindset. When he was leaving jail at 41, he didn't look back. He vowed to never go back. Today, Andre is a successful entrepreneur. He's also a motivational speaker with a conviction and drives to bring out the best in individuals. His unique approach has motivated many men, women, and teenagers to remove obstacles and move into their purpose with a can-do attitude. He's driven by an immense desire to help people believe in themselves through motivation. This was the impetus for the formation of 1441 magazine. You have a chance to break the cycle and take your life back with this breakthrough magazine that'll certainly change the way you think and will allow you to make positive lifestyle choices now. 1441 also offers mentorship, education, guidance, and counseling to people who have fallen victim to this system. Let's break that cycle and take your lives back with this breakthrough magazine. It'll certainly change the way you think and will allow you to make positive lifestyle choices. 1441 is a magazine that addresses our issues. You no longer have to become a victim of your past. Join us. Subscribe, and volunteer. Visit our website, 1441magazine.com.
All right. So, I hope that you enjoyed that short piece there. When I first saw that, I found it to be really thought-provoking, especially that twist at the end when you find out that the young lady who didn't vote was the judge. Were you surprised? I was surprised.
I hear you.
And so, but the gentleman made a good point in saying, are you going to let the electoral college results, dictate or shape how you approach the process going forward? And he was saying, we should get back in the game. We should continue to vote. So we wanted to just talk to you just for a minute about the importance of voting, because you might say, well, this is a real estate show. Why are you talking about voting? Because when your property taxes are voted to go up,
yes,
when that legislation goes before you, when there's redistricting things, when there is legislation that has to do with how property is handled, things like that. Those things are decided by the people that you elect. And so it's very important. So we are approaching primaries in the DMV, and we're going to give you the dates for all of 3 of the primaries. Reba's going to give you Virginia and DC, but I'm going to start you out with the one for Maryland. Now, so what's the primary? Because I may have young people that are watching. And the primary is where the registered voters, and the key word there is registered voters. So you need to be registered to vote to be able to vote in the primary. Now, in some areas, the time for being registered may have passed, in which case you need to make sure that you're registered to vote by the time we have the general election in November, on November 6th. But it's where the registered voters decide who's going to be in the general election. So it narrows the field of candidates. So you may have several candidates that want to be county executive or may want a particular council position, but then you have that primary, and that determines who that person is going to be. It's going to be on the ballot. And so it's important, and that's for each party, okay? And it's important for you to take the time to find out how these people have voted in the past. I know if you're like me, especially when I was younger, I was just like, I don't know, I'm just going to pick one, But we can't afford to just pick one anymore, can we, Reba?
No, you cannot.
We need to know.
Know the issues.
That's right.
And at least go when there are events either on television or in the community.
That's correct.
Know your local community candidates.
That's correct.
And what their platforms are for.
Because a few shows back, we had talked. The Maryland Realtors had actually some things that they were lobbying for in our state house, and I had talked about the results of that. They were trying to get a bill had been proposed for a home buyer savings account for Maryland. Now it did not pass, but that was legislature that was put forth that would have been beneficial, would allow you to save money, tax free, toward the purchase of your home. That could have been a benefit to you had it passed. So these are things that are voted on by your county, your state officials. So you need to know who's who among who, and just take the time to investigate. Because your vote does count. It makes a difference. So, okay,
well,
go
Lisa,
ahead.
If I may say, people sometimes tend to go for their main candidate
Right.
or school board issue, but it's the entire ballot that really makes everything have high impact.
That's true.
And the things that are called bond issues, when they're going to do new things in the community, as far as land being sold,
Yes.
or having roads infrastructure rebuilt or readdressed.
Yes.
You want to put your vote in, because talking about it in a PTA meeting or at a city council meeting is one thing.
Right.
But on the election thing we're going to share today, you want to at least have put your thoughts on the ballot. That's
Right.
going to be very, very important, to read the ballot. Don't rush in the booth and hit one button and walk away.
That's
Read
right.
that ballot.
And I know if you're like me, you live in Prince George's County, of course you receive one of these.
The whole packet.
So it's going to tell you what's on there, so you don't have an excuse for not knowing,
Right.
Who the candidates are. And taking the time, we take a lot of time to find out what's going on in our social media. We're a social media platform, knowing what our celebrities are doing, knowing, all of those kinds of things. And it's nothing against that, but these are kinds of decisions where we're voting someone in for a long term, and now it's really critical knowing who you have in office because of the long-term effect of the decision that you've made. Just like some voters may have made decisions in the last general election, they may have some regrets now, because what they thought might happen didn't happen. Okay, for some of us, what we thought happened did happen. So we want to just make sure that you are aware that you need to make a difference. You need to make your voice count, because it does count. Now, in Maryland, the primary election is June 26th. It is polls are open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Okay, and if you're doing early voting, you can do it from June 14th to the 21st, and they have special locations for that. And that those polls will be open from 10 to 8. But the primary election is June 26th from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Now, if you want more information on the Maryland elections, you can go to www.elections.maryland.gov. And Reba, you have Virginia for us?
Virginia information following the date you gave for the D.C. area, for Maryland rather. June the 12th will be the election day date for primary elections. If you want more information about those elections, go to your website, elections.virginia.gov.
Okay.
And then when you go on to, may I go on?
Yes.
When you go on into the Washington, D.C. information, you have information regarding the primary election for June the 19th. That's a Tuesday. And that general election information is for you to be aware of. The Board of Elections number is 1-866 DC-VOTES. Again, 1-866 DC-VOTES, or dial 1-866-328-6837.
Excellent. I was just informed that our other video played, which was for our returning citizens. So we're going to air our voting video again so that you can see that and see what we were describing to you. And I think that'll make the information even more relevant. All right. So enjoy, and we'll be back with you on the other side of the video.
Did you vote early?
I didn't vote.
Why not?
What difference would it have made?
Is that a rhetorical question?
About a week before the election, I was listening to a conservative radio station. They weren't talking about if he was going to win. They were talking about by how much. Later that day, I was watching Fox TV. Same conversation. At that moment, I knew it was over.
How could they be certain about the Electoral College vote before the election?
They knew. Yeah. They knew.
So you're going to be done with the whole process because of one election? People are going to know you didn't vote.
Millions of people have protested the results of this election.
That's the problem. We need to stop complaining to the referee and get back on defense. Move on to the next play. The game isn't over.
Afternoon, Judge.
Counselor?
Yeah, we met. We probably got about 30 seconds, I think.
Okay.
Welcome back. So, I hope that you enjoyed what you heard and that it provoked the same thought that we were expressing prior to, right after our last clip. So, just keep in mind that we're not looking for anybody to give us anything, but we're going to exercise what we've already have, which is our right to vote. And we're going to make decisions when we go in that voting booth that benefit all of our communities, whether you're in Maryland, whether you're in D.C., whether you're in Virginia. It's time to make those decisions. In some parts of the country, there are people on the ballot that represent views that are against everything that we stand for as a country, as communities. So I just wanted to encourage you to make your best choice, after you've done the investigating for your primary selection, so that when we get ready to go to the general election, you have who you want to have on the ballot to build a better community, and a better place to live for all of us.
And in keeping with that, the vote today, not only for your housing concerns and your PTA and community concerns, you want to also look at our young people who are of voting age for this June election. We just had graduations from high schools
That's right.
and colleges, and I'm sure that the school year has given them a chance to hear more about things that impact the vote.
That's right.
And
yes.
the age for voting has changed. The age for voting is younger, and I'm sure that now it's much more learned. The young people now know how to vote and not waste that afternoon. A day off is a day on.
That's right.
That's what we say for Martin Luther King Day. A day off is a day on.
That's right.
And this day off will be a day to go vote.
To go vote.
The whole family.
And if you have new young voters in your home, show them how to get past the first page of Google.
Yes.
When they're looking for information, show them other ways to access voting information that is not just the campaign's propaganda, but that's actual, true information that they can use, and they can make good decision. Like Dr. Johnson was saying last week, having those analytical and critical thinking skills that transfers over to every area of your life. She was talking about it from, teaching that in conjunction with, the math skills, how they carry over. But both she and our other guest, Mr. Levine, both agreed that those analytical and critical thinking skills are needed everywhere, and especially in this area.
But don't forget, with those skills, that means that your reading comprehension is important.
That's it.
In
Yes.
that booth. There's no coach in that booth with you.
That's right.
The reading from your teacher for English class, the AP classes, the teachers you have for mentors along the way.
That's right.
The math is one thing.
Right.
To know how to find which item to vote for, item 1, 2, 3, and 4. But to understand what you're reading,
That's
you
right.
want to understand that Now's the time to walk in there and stand flat-foot and vote, but read and understand what you're voting for. Don't rush through it.
That's right.
If it takes 5 minutes, take that 5 minutes. They're there all day for you.
That's right.
The workers are there to encourage that you
right.
walked in, you checked in, showed your ID, and then you walk on your own to that booth.
That's right.
They usher you over to the booth. You close the curtain, and when the machine is set up for you, some ballots are written,
Right.
and some ballots are check marks, and some are automated. So you want to at least practice that at school, or practice that even, like I said, on Google. Look at the various kinds of voting opportunities.
That's right.
And do not rush through the vote. Take your time. Make your future a safe future.
That's right. That's excellent, Reba.
Thank you.
That's excellent because, sometimes we gloss over that, or like, it was demonstrated in the video, we feel helpless. But I think it's time for us to come out of that. And, we've seen some films recently that's made us feel, empowered and active. Yes, right? And so, but that feeling now has to translate into the things that we do, the decisions that we make.
Right. It's now your turn to act on what you feel empowered about. It's one thing to have an action figure come alive. You want to become your own character of strength.
That's
you want
right.
to encourage your mom and dad to go vote, and your grandmother and grandfather.
That's right.
Your aunts and uncles, and anyone you feel might have a ride that day, offer a ride.
That's right.
Or walk them
That's
through
right.
that door.
Yeah.
And senior citizens,
That's right.
here's the joy part. We can go to the front of the line and be ushered in.
That's right. You get a preeminent seating there.
Exactly. You just walk on in. They say, ma'am, come this way. You go, thank you, honey. So I'm saying to you, having experienced that a couple of elections ago, I was like,
you felt really special.
oh, it's really special.
Just not only did you have the little sticker that said I voted, you need a little one under that said I voted in style.
And early.
And early. There you go. There you go. So I want to move forward now. We want to talk about what's been going on in the housing market in our area.
Certainly.
And I can tell you from personal experience, just with the clients that I'm working with now, it's moving quick. Okay. So if you are working with your agent, you want to be able to look at that property and make a decision. And if you're making that decision, give your agent the right of way to move forward quickly and get your offer in. I tell you, I saw houses last week. We saw it in the morning. It was under contract in the evening. Okay. It's on the market for 2 days. It's gone because inventory is still low in the marketplace, and it's competitive. I would encourage any buyer, that's working with an agent, that you want to, and I'm sure your agent will encourage you to do the same, is to put your best offer forward. Used to be, yes, we do negotiate, and we negotiate on behalf of our clients to get them the best offer possible. But the thought process that you're going to somehow have this offer that is just going to, you're gonna get this house for nothing. You're gonna somehow sneak in and just steal that house from that seller. That's not happening.
One thing about you, Lisa,
Huh?
I find that you are an informed and compassionate realtor.
Oh, thank you, Reba.
I listen to you talk to your clients, when we're riding along sometimes or going to a meeting. And once you walk in, you give them an assured information that you've done that, been there. And they can kind of feel like, well, Lisa said do it this way. Listen. Listen to your realtor. And make sure you call Lisa as well as your realtor. Because when you have the senior team of Fairfax Realty, you got something going on.
That's right.
But you cannot market or take away from you that compassion that people, when I call them and recommend you to them, Reba, she knows everything. And I mean that in a loving way.
Yes.
'Cause a lot of folks don't know how to encourage, persuade, and cajole a potential buyer to listen to their suggestions.
Yes.
Okay, I can't say you recommended all the things that are always all right, but you know enough about the topic to say, let's try this. Let's try the lender. Let's get pre-set up. You know,
That's right.
let's use the proper math.
That's right.
And then here at the show, we've had a chance to have people like Mr. Reginald Derrickson come in and give the other math lesson
Right.
before Dr. Mary came in.
That's right.
You understand?
That's right.
So we have a chance to show things and share things
That's
that
right.
really are important, that
right.
makes the home buying process piece of
Makes
cake.
it easier for you, because we want you to be successful. Never feel like your realtor. You know, we work on commission. You know, we don't get paid until you buy a house.
And are satisfied.
Yeah. So so it's always in our best interest to give you the best advice so that you can purchase your home. Okay. So when we share information with you, we're sharing it from a point of, we want you to be successful. You know, sometimes if it's my client's dream is maybe a tight fit for what's in the market, I explain the challenges that there may be in obtaining it that way. And I say, you know, we talk about how we can, you know, reframe the conversation. What are the really important things? What are the things you need? Is this going to be your forever home, or is this really just going to be your starter home? And so all those things go into, you know, how you make your decision. So it's really important for you to be able to hear from your agent what they're saying, because we want you to be successful in your offer. We don't want you to be in a position where you're overextended. That's why we have you talk to your lender. We want you to be clear on what the terms of the offer are, and that you don't get caught up in the bidding war to the extent where you make a decision that's not in your best interest, because our job is to do things that are in your best interest. So now, the Northern Virginia housing market, I just want to say that the median housing price was $525,000. Okay, $525,000. That's a little over $500,000. Now, and our guest is going to be joining us in just a moment, but I'm going to have him come in. But I want to give you these statistics first. But for Northern Virginia, it's $500,000, and that was up 1.94%. That's the median cost. That means half the houses that were sold were above that, and the other half were below that. And the sales, the number of sales were 2,079. It was up 4.16% over last year's numbers. And we're going to give you numbers for Maryland and D.C. Before we close out today, but we're going to go to a short clip, and while we're going to that, we're going to, if you missed the 1441 clip earlier, it was played, I'm going to play that, and we're going to have our guests come in, and we'll be right back with you.
Andre Gore story. At age 14, he was incarcerated for truancy. Do you know what truancy is? Yep, not going to school. At age 14. And while in there, he learned to take drugs. He learned how to lie. He learned how to do all the things he didn't have to do, and it changed him for the worst. But he was just a child. As a result, he went in and out of prison until he was 41. He became a victim of modern-day slavery and was branded for life. That's what the system does to you. Until one day, he decided to remove the shackles of his mind and change his mindset. When he was leaving jail at 41, he didn't look back. He vowed to never go back. Today, Andre is a successful entrepreneur. He's also a motivational speaker with the conviction and drives to bring out the best in individuals. His unique approach has motivated many men, women, and teenagers to remove obstacles and move into their purpose with a can-do attitude. He's driven by an immense desire to help people believe in themselves through motivation. This was the impetus for the formation of 1441 magazine. You have a chance to break the cycle and take your life back with this breakthrough magazine that'll certainly change the way you think and will allow you to make positive lifestyle choices now. 1441 also offers mentorship, education, guidance, and counseling to people who have fallen victim to this system. Let's break that cycle and take your lives back with this breakthrough magazine. It'll certainly change the way you think and it'll allow you to make positive lifestyle choices. 1441 is a magazine that addresses our issues. You no longer have to become a victim of your past. Join us, subscribe, and volunteer. Visit our website, 1441magazine.com.
All right, welcome back. As you can see, we've done our magic trick. We got Mr. Ernest D. Penn here with Fidelity Direct Mortgage. Welcome, Ernest. So glad to have you with us.
Glad to be back again.
Yes,
Ms.
indeed.
Rayla.
Nice to meet you too,
Good
Mr.
to meet you.
Ernest.
Good to meet you.
So I told them that part of our focus for today is housing, dollars and cents.
Okay.
That's dollars and SENSE. Okay, because you need to be sensible when you're looking at your financing for your property. So Ernest is here. He was talking to me. We actually talking last evening about some of the strategies to keep in mind when you're looking at your lender and you're looking at grants and different things going on. What's actually happening in the market? So you have the floor, sir.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Well, one of the things that I know a lot of people are not looking into is, one, there are three parts when you're dealing with grants. You're dealing with the financing, and then you're dealing with the closing costs.
Correct.
When someone says 100% financing, that doesn't necessarily mean that your earnest money deposit, the appraisal fees,
That's right.
your insurances are covered in all of that. There is a way that we calculate those formulas for you, and then we show those on your good faith estimate or a loan estimate, now is what they're called.
Right.
And we provide that to you, and we show you how to break it down. Usually, when you're dealing with grants, there are other overlays or other requirements. Most state and county grants have to go to a different underwriter. What I'm finding out now, there are now lenders who are saying, hey, well, wait a minute. Well, let's see if we can know if there's a nonprofit out here that would mind giving us or helping the borrower put their money down, and we'll work with the seller to cover the closing costs. And it's the same concept now. So
Okay.
now we're able to offer zero FHA.
And see, normally you're looking at what, like 3.5% down FHA?
Technically, it's so long as the seller is willing to cooperate with you and your lender, you're pretty much not putting anything into it other than your appraisal, your home inspection,
Oh,
and your
see?
insurance.
You guys paying attention? You getting this? This is good stuff.
You heard it. Hey, you're hearing it here.
Hearing it here. This is good stuff because, because I've had that challenge sometimes with clients where, the credit score may be there, and of course the desire is there, but all of the funds, for the down payment and the closing costs, that's been kind of a struggle.
Right, because most people believe that you have to have a credit score higher than 600, and that's not true. To get an FHA loan, technically you don't really have to have a score, or you can get it with one score, and you can get it as credit score as low as 530. So FHA really doesn't have requirements on that. What the requirements are set and forth is the lenders, and we're looking at how much risk we're going to take as far as how much we want to finance. And the grant is also saying, okay, is this person going to follow through with the payments, stick to the plan, and benefit with having equity at the end of the rainbow? And that's the whole goal. Everybody comes together to help everyone reach their dream of home buying.
The win-win type concept.
That's right.
Right.
And so, if I'm hearing you right, what you're saying to me is, within the Fidelity Direct Mortgage set of products, that you can get someone qualified with a very minimal out-of-pocket, and with what some might consider maybe a marginal credit score, not in the 7s and the high 6s, and still be able to get them into a property, looking at that criteria.
Correct. Also, another thing that's important to understand that if your credit scores are going to be on the low end, it's best to work with a lender that understands how to take the score where it's at and do what we call a rapid rescore.
Okay.
A rapid rescore is just us taking the information, you providing it to us, and then we update the reports that we have, so that your score will reflect what it currently is to that day with that lender.
Okay. So it's not that long, drawn-out process. I wrote 3 letters. I'm waiting for somebody to write me back, and by the time I'm 80, I might be able to get this property.
No, it isn't. A lot of times, some folks have the instance of saying, okay, I had this account and I've paid it down to 10% of its balance. Usually by paying your balances down by 10%, you're actually boosting your credit score tremendously. I mean, you can go from a very low credit score of 560, and your scores jump well above a 610, 620.
By getting those balances down.
Just keeping your balances down or paying them down. Matter of fact, again, when you talk to your lender, he should be able to determine in a conversation with you on your balances, your minimum payment, and your limits, and can professionally guide you through on what you should do or the necessary course you need to take to get your score to where it needs to be, because he does have the resources to make that happen for you.
That's excellent. Now, I know people are concerned about the interest rates. Been going up, then they've been going down. They kind of been doing this right here. Where are they right now? Where are you seeing them right now for buyers? Is it a good time to get it? I always tell people, when's it a good time to buy?
Now.
Right now. When's it a good time to sell?
Right
now. Because if interest rates are going up, but they're going to be higher later. So you need to get in there now. But what are you seeing in the marketplace?
Right now, we see a tremendous spike in the market. Today, they could be going for the people's dream, which is the low interest rates. I try not to get into rates because we like to quote them accurately.
Right.
At the same time, everybody knows where the rates are. To answer your question, best is to sit down with the lender and tell him everything up front, and then just ask, where do you project me closing?
Right.
And in that projection of time frame, where do you think the interest rates are going to be at? At that point, your lender is free to give you a wealth of information without feeling that they're obligated to make a promise that they may not be able to uphold to you, because they cannot anticipate the market change. We can only give you great service by the information that's provided to us.
Exactly. And that's a key thing, though. But what he did make the point of is that they can give you a wealth of information. And that's that sit down inside information that you get in that one-on-one consultation. Now, when you have that one-on-one consultation, do you charge them? They got to pay?
Absolutely free.
It's free. Like, you can come in and check what's in the piggy bank.
You know what we're gonna ask for? We're gonna ask for a referral.
Okay. I think we can do that.
So
I can get a referral.
So when they come in to you
Yes.
for a referral or to exchange a referral, if a person comes in, say, for an hour and a half on a Saturday for a meeting, and they want to learn more about how to get the home mortgage process started, then they decide, after they spend your time for 2 hours and their time with you 2 hours, and they decide to not buy anything or never come back, and then buy a house
go to a different
2
lender.
weeks later.
Yes.
That's the whole point.
And that happens, and
That
it's very
happens.
normal.
So does that ever? Do they ever pay anything to you as a stipend for the time used?
No. It's actually illegal to do that. As a loan officer, we're not supposed to be compensated at any time at an advisory process. We're only compensated from the closing of your loan by the company that we are paid by. It's just unethical and without principle to do that. What I do recommend that if you do sit down with the lender and you decide not to go with that lender, give him a courtesy call and say, hey, moving forward, this is what I would like to do.
I
That's
hear
helpful.
At least he's not anticipating his his income, and it's an income source.
Right.
So he's not anticipating whether or not he's going to have that to work with. But at the same time, it allows him to do a self-evaluation and say, hey, well, what can I do to be better so the next client I can give a better service?
Exactly. So when what I always tell my clients is I want you to go and meet with a lender to find out where you are. And you made a very good point, because I have recently had conversations where I said, look, even if you're not ready,
Right.
find out where you are at the interest rate where you are, and then find out, ask them to give you a scenario if it should go up to here, what that would look like for you. So at least if you're not going to move now, you can know what you're looking for, because it's critical to have the best information. They say garbage in, garbage out. So you want to make sure that what you are focused on is going to be useful and helpful to make that decision. So then, if you're waiting, you know how you should be saving, what you should be saving, what you should be paying down, and just to piggyback on what you were saying about the free consultation. I would encourage people, definitely, you want to get the best mortgage that you can, the best rate, the best product for you, but also be mindful and respectful of that loan officer that has guided you, because I see sometimes that happens where a lender may guide someone to get their situation together, and and then they may not hear from them again. So just be mindful of that, of the time that is put in. But I like that product. Now, do you guys just do first time home buyer type products, or do you have other types of financing for purchasers? If it's a second home or something, or if they want to do a rehab, do you offer those products?
Yes, we do. We also have for clients who are first-time home buyers. As a matter of fact, it's not a first-time home buyer product.
Okay.
It's set up was put together as an 80-20 with no in mind.
Okay.
So the borrower is actually able to get financing, which is around the low interest rate that everybody likes on the first lien. The MI is not included because it's only 80% financing, and the 20% is a HELOC product.
Taking out of the equity of the property itself.
Right. So
What's that term again? HELOC?
HELOC. It's called equity line of credit. Home equity lines of credit.
Okay. That's a novel approach.
It's beginning to really take off now, and I'm finding that a lot of our clients that are in those market for looking, or they don't want to have to wait for the first time home buyer 3-year requirement, or
that's right.
they have the home and they're selling it. This product meets that goal. It allows you to sell your home and next day qualify for the program.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
It does have a high credit risk score, so that's where you want to give us a call at Fidelity Mortgage, or call me, and I'll be able to
tell them where to find you, Ernest.
Oh, Fidelity Mortgage. My Facebook is Ernest D, Darris, Penn, Ernest Penn. You can also call me at 703-296-4984. That's 703-296-4984. I have a team of loan officers, and we have a huge staff that's ready and prepared to help you deal with any loan scenario. We are about giving you the solution to whatever you're looking to do, and giving you a plan to make that happen.
Excellent.
I noticed on the website, on the website, I noticed that when I called up your company name, Fidelity, say it again, the whole name.
Fidelity Direct Mortgage.
When you go on the website, you can put your name in the search.
Yes, ma'am.
And up comes the whole list
everybody is prepared
people
to
there,
assist.
but we can still find your name on the list.
Good.
Because there's a second link there. And that's the thing. They have the home counselors there, I think it is.
Okay.
And that's where I found your name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So when I put in the first time, I put in your name for the search for a loan officer. Right when the first search bar, it was blank. Well, there's a blue link there. I think it says home counselors or home buyers.
Okay.
And that's where they found your list on the next list.
Well,
one of the top folks.
I'm honored that it's there.
Yes, indeed. And what was something I was going to say? We have Ernest's bio and links to that on our show's webpage. Yeah,
Okay.
we post that up there for you today, so you can reach him. I can testify that he does answer his phone. Don't be
Every
calling.
single
Don't be
time.
calling the man at like 10 o'clock at night. Call him the following
Actually,
morning.
no, I get those calls.
I know. But I'm trying to help you.
It's fine. Call me, folks.
They're probably the
'cause
best calls, though.
those
Yes,
are the best
yes,
calls,
yes,
and everybody's
yes.
more relaxed. A lot of people feel like, I can think about what's happening. The kids are away. A lot of my realtor partners calling me like even later. So fine, if you do feel that you have a question,
Right.
That's the policy that we have at Fidelity Mortgage. If you don't ask, you won't know.
That's
So
right.
Ask the question and give
That's
us
right.
a call. My number is
That's right.
703-296-4984. Just call me.
Now, Lisa, you mentioned the event this weekend.
Yes.
Yes.
PD
Yes.
Sports Learning Center.
Yes.
And here's the next question: will you be there?
I was supposed to be.
Then give your
That's
number
okay.
again.
We got him here now, so you can get him before the event. Okay.
I will.
and
I
on
will.
our website.
Yes. Now I will say this: if I will be attending both events, if you stop me and you have a deal, and you say, Ernest, I saw you on this show. I got a special deal for you.
See.
Something special just for you, but you have
Just
to
for
cancel
you.
the conventions.
Okay.
And that's the PG,
Yeah. PG Prince George's County Housing Fair.
and then there's DC, right?
Yeah, there is. I did hear that there's a DC one, but I didn't have the information at airtime to
DC.
share
We
it.
discussed today. The
But do you
PG.
have that info?
From my understanding, it's the same time.
Okay.
DC's from, I think, 10 to 3 at the
Okay.
convention center. That's the DC Home Buying Seminar.
Okay.
And then you have PGs happening from...
And that's from
Sports and
9 to
Learning
3 at
Sports
Sports and
and
Learning.
Yep.
8000 Sheriff Road. 8001
So come
Sheriff
on out
Road.
and see us, y'all.
Yeah,
We're there. There's a
I'm
lot of people
saying.
there to talk with us.
That's right. That's right. I'm really excited. Really looking forward to it.
That's
now, I
wonderful.
did tell you I was going to come back and give you numbers for Virginia. Like we said, the median price for the April numbers for Virginia was $525,000, and for DC the median price was $590,000, and then the median price in Maryland was $295,000. Now we're getting ready to sign off, but I wanted to remind you. You can reach us. Ernest told you where to find him. You're going to be able to find this show on the WBGR Wellness Network. You're going to find it on Real Estate Talk with Lisa's Facebook page, Real Estate Talk with Lisa YouTube channel, WBGRTV.com. If you'll see a clip of this show, you're going to see on the Roku and Amazon Fire Stick platforms. If you type WBGR in the search box, you'll be able to locate us, and we have the rotating content there where you'll be able to see episodes of our show. Ernest, it was wonderful having you here today.
thank you,
So
thank
glad you could be here. Yes,
And
Reba?
to become a guest on the show, call this number.
Yes.
301-420-0000.
And a final shout out to our third team member, Nicole King.
That's
right. Who is our videographer, social media contact person, and all around duct tape for the team, help hold us all together. We really appreciate you, young lady. And remember, next week, we'll see you at the show.
You ladies are amazing.
All right. And we're going to turn some air. We're going to get this cold.